Hi, it's Mr. Anderson, and we're doing a brief lesson on measuring volume with decimals together. And so here we have a cartoon picture of a graduated cylinder, and what we're first going to look at are two numbers here. So in the bottom right we have a number 4, and towards the top we see number 5. So we count the number of lines. These are our graduates in a graduated cylinder, our intervals. And we'll find that there are 10 lines. That means that each line here has a value of 0.1. So to start off, when we look at the long line going across a graduated cylinder, we know that's our whole number. So in this case, I've already marked that this would be 4.0. Let's mark that with our orange arrow, so 4.0. Our next line, though, just like when we're counting, would be 1. So we're going to put 4.1. The next line up from it would be 4.2. The third line up would be 4.3. And then 4.4. And this longer line, it's not quite as long as the number 4 or the number 5 long, but it's longer than the others, clearly. Well, this is our halfway mark, so this is 4.5. And as we count on, we know the line after 5 would be 4.6. 4.7, 4.8. Now I want to pause here. I'm going to move my arrow out a little bit. And we can see that in this cartoonish version of volume, that this is where our meniscus is. Remember, the meniscus is the bottom of the bubble in a liquid. When we're measuring volume, we measure from this meniscus. So it looks like the volume of this liquid would be 4.8. But what if our volume instead were all the way up here? So I've created another line to represent our possible volume. So let me add in a few more lines. So we have 2 boxes added now, and we know that this next graduate up is going to be 4.9. We know this new volume line, this pink line here that represents our new volume, isn't quite to 5 yet. We can see that it's clearly below it. This is where we have to make another estimate. We have to go through this process all over again, and we're going to give an eyeball estimate to where it's at in this decimal system. We know it looks like it's at least halfway through. All right, we know it's still 4, so we're going to start with 4.9. We know it's still in the 0.9 range, right, because it hasn't gotten to 5 yet. Now in this 0.9 range, it looks to me like it's at least halfway between the 0.9 line and 5. So this has to be at least 4.95. Maybe it's 4.96 in your eyes. Maybe even you're willing to go to 4.97. Our estimate, while it may not be exactly the same, should be in a similar ballpark. So let's just call this 4.96 for argument's sake. And this would be our rounded estimate value for the volume of this liquid. Alright, so as you go through your work today, you're going to see 2 levels of problems. One type of problem where you're doing a number with 1 decimal, and another level where you're doing a whole number with a decimal, and then going out to the hundreds place like we just did with 4.96. Remember, your estimate should be in a reasonable ballpark, and you have to go back through this decimal numbering system. Good luck. Till next time.